Hi Ben, first, I suppose the first place to start is what are your thoughts after what actually turned out to be a very thrilling finish to the test?
Yeah, I mean that's what we set out to do with the from day one, was to make Test cricket in general exciting when England are playing, and then obviously with the declaration we wanted to come into day 5 where both results were possible. One of those results not being a draw, and yeah, I just think the way in which we've toiled the whole week, let alone just today, is absolutely fantastic. The way that the batters went out there and played with the freedom and enjoyment allowed us to be where we were on day 5, because of the way in which we played, the rate that we scored at, and the willingness also from the bowlers to experiment with different plans, different fields, because that's what I felt like it was going to take 20 wickets from this wicket, was to be quite unconventional.
You mentioned the run rate that you scored out there. Going over a run a ball is something that we haven't really seen in Test cricket before. Was that intentional, or when you went out there, or was that partly helped by the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, obviously, it's the mindset in which you go out to play with. And then obviously the wicket that you've got to play on then obviously helps, or sometimes doesn't help. But obviously this wicket really helped the lads be able to go out and express themselves, because there wasn't any swing, there wasn't any seam or much spin for the first few days. So we felt as a batting unit that we had to capitalise on that, and try and score as quickly as we possibly could. Because taking time out of a test match in the first few days, especially on a wicket like this, is something that could sort of detriment yourself into winning a game.
And could you just talk us through a bit more about your decision to declare when you did, with what looked at some points like a very chaseable total for Pakistan?
Yeah, I mean we wanted to sort of dangle that carrot for Pakistan, to feel like that they were always in the chase, and we knew that. But some early feedback that we're actually getting from our batters on our second innings was actually when you're trying to force the ball rather than just sort of play naturally, felt like you were going to give some opportunities away. Actually, a huge amount of credit's got to go to Ruti, actually, who came up with that plan of the short ball ploy with the new ball, because we didn't really feel like we were going to get much out of the new ball when we went out to bowl for the second time. And obviously picking up the 2 early wickets yesterday was massive, and that's obviously got to go down to a dressing room who's willing to come up and offer different things out there. There was a lot of things that went our way today were paying off because of the suggestions that were coming in from the guys who were out there.
Okay, we'll go Stefan, Ali and then Dean.
Ben, given everything, the conditions, some of the players that aren't here, some of the members of your team being quite inexperienced, and everything that was going on 24 hours before the game, how big an achievement is it to pull off that win?
I think before the test match obviously started, we were sort of didn't actually know if we were going to start on time because of the illness that we had going through the camp. But the way in which the lads just dealt with it, and just cracked on, obviously was a credit to them as individuals, but also a credit to this team, because at the moment it just feels like everyone's doing what they need to do for the bloke who stood next to them. Leachy actually said to me there in the dressing room, he said, "Thanks for coming to my room before day 1 started and convinced me to play." It's just an awesome place to be in, where the individual takes away the individual side of sport and understands that the picture is bigger than just themselves. And we've got a whole squad of players who understands that and really buys into that. And I think the inexperience at the moment with our team and ethos and the way in which we want to go about things isn't that much of an issue to me, or the management, because everyone knows that they get the backing of myself and the management, and just go out there, express yourself, and then you get to see players like Harry Brook go out and do what he did this week.
You've obviously had some pretty special moments in England shirt across formats. Where does this one rank?
I think it's one of the best. To be able to get a result on this type of wicket is just, it's mind-blowing. Just the effort that everyone's managed to put in this whole week's just incredible, and I feel very honoured and feel in a very privileged position to be able to lead these guys out on the field. Hearing Jimmy Anderson said to me there before the end of match presentation that he's feeling quite emotional about this win. So to have a guy who's played 180 Test matches, experienced everything, highs and lows of Test cricket, to hear him say that about this particular Test match, I think that really makes you realise how special an achievement this week has been. Wearing this England shirt.
Cheers, thank you.
One each from Ali and Dean, and then we'll take some from the Pakistan media. Go ahead.
Ben, Jimmy Anderson's 40 years old. Ollie Robinson's had fitness issues in the past. How do you sum up that effort on the final day? Because that's a pitch where maybe England seamers in the past might have been daunted by, might have felt very challenging. How do you sum up their efforts there?
Yeah, Jimmy at 40 doing what he's done this whole week. Even bowled like the 2 overs of bounces he bowled last night. I said to him, "You're rolling back the years there, mate." But it's incredible the willingness that everyone has, especially with the ball, to come in and just keep trying different things. That was my personal opinion on this type of wicket, was that we're going to have to try some different out there things in terms of our bowling plans, our field placings, because I felt it was going to be a batter error really that was going to open the door for us. And we got a few of those, especially last night with the short ball ploy with the new ball. And as you said, the great word he said there was Ollie Robinson's fitness in the past. Didn't show any sign of slowing down today whatsoever on a hot, docile, draining day. He kept running in and running in and running in, and I think that everything that's gone on in the past and has been said about him, he's completely should be written off now, because that performance he's put in this week is, in my opinion, was his best bowling performance for England. Conditions not in his favour, and still managed to bowl England to victory yet again.
We've got one from Dean, and we can take up to 4. We've got a tight schedule to leave, so go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, but Ben, I know it's still early days with your captaincy, but how much fun do you have across the game making those decisions, choosing the declaration? First time I think you had a chance to declare, fielding positions and all the rest of it, keeping players G'd up for that effort. How much fun did you have?
That's one thing as well, as what we're trying to do is just whatever situation we find ourselves out in the field, especially, is just enjoy it. I think a few times I've said just enjoy the flatness, enjoy the challenge of trying to create something out of nowhere. There's the field placings were obviously quite out there at times. I mean, we had like an umbrella field at some point. It was quite interesting to actually look around and see, but we managed to draw some big shots, and we always felt that whenever the batsman felt like that was their only way to go, we're going to create opportunities. So it's been a fun game to captain.
This gentleman here, and then we'll take one from here and two at the front, and then we're done. Go ahead.
Captain, perhaps it was a brave decision last day, and you have a great victory as well. From last tea break to today's tea break, the match was 50-50. What was happened in today's tea break? After tea break, all out, and you won the match.
That's what happened.
What happened in the tea break?
No, I think
What was in tea?
Oh, how was the tea? No, I think
The tea was fantastic.
yeah, the tea was brilliant. No, I think obviously with the declaration and stuff like that, obviously as today got longer and they got more into the game, that's where we wanted the game to be. We wanted the game to be in a position where every over there was just didn't know what was going to happen. and I think it's a lot more exciting to watch, to play in, knowing that, I don't know, there's something to play for. Both teams have got the opportunity to win the game, rather than it's going to be a draw or it's going to take something for a batting team to get bowled out. I mean, surely people want to watch that as Test cricket, and that's what we're trying to do as a team, is to make Test cricket as exciting as the shorter formats. So yeah, I think today was absolutely perfect in terms of that the game was just, day 5 today was just, it was a roller coaster. We managed to take the last wicket, I think, with 8 minutes left or something like that. Who doesn't want to watch a Test match go into day 5 and be played like that?
We have time for 2 more, one here and then one here, and then we're done.
Ben, congratulations, and thank you for entertaining the crowd here for 5 days. We all adore your strategy of bringing the result out of a dead match and entertaining the crowd and giving something back to the spectators. Do you think that this Test match can change the dynamics of Test cricket overall?
I mean, it's something we've been trying to do in all the Test matches since I've been in charge. But I think, in particular, I hope it might change the way that it's cricket's played in the subcontinent. Not only is Test cricket almost viewed and has been viewed in one type of way of playing. It's one thing I actually mentioned to the group of players was that the Australia series, it was said that it was a 15-day Test match. I said, no, we're going to take each Test match as it comes. We're going to play to win every game out here, and if it comes again, and when we find ourselves in a similar position in game 2, we'll be doing exactly the same kind of thing. It's not always going to work. It's not always going to go your way, but if you're brave enough and willing enough to go out and play in that way, if you lose a game, it's going to be entertaining. And that's personally how I think Test cricket should be played, is always looking at the entertainment side of the sport, because Test cricket is something that needs to be looked after. It's the pinnacle of cricket. It's the one that everybody wants to play, and if we can make a little indentation into other teams' ways of playing the game, I think that's just only going to do Test cricket the world of good, because we don't want it falling off the planet. It needs to stay around, and we'll do everything we possibly can as a team to keep it alive.
Ben, what was the moment when you felt like we were going to win? And also your comments on the last player of Pakistan, Wasim Shah and Ali.
I've never seen 15 minutes go past so quickly from 4:15 to 4:30. It was started to get to that point where we knew that it was going to have to be double spin, because at some point we knew it was going to be too dark for our seamers to bowl. Another sort of tactical decision was actually to keep that older ball, because we felt it was a real threat with our seamers with the reverse swing, and obviously soft, so it was hard to score, and then keeping the newer ball for when we had to eventually bowl our 2 spinners. We just felt it might bring them more into the game with the extra skid or the extra spin with the newer, harder ball. So everything went perfectly today, and not just with obviously us winning, but if Pakistan had won this game as well, I would have been happy that Test match cricket got a result on this wicket. If we drew this match, we would have been walking off smiling that we managed to get this game to where it was. So yeah, very pleased.